teacher.
Make sure you talk in the microphone. Do you have a PowerPoint?
No. Hi, my name's Anusher, as all of you know. Um, and my community project was about teaching kids how to grow mushrooms out of recycled paper. So basically, trees, you see mushrooms growing on trees all the time, and paper's made out of trees. So using that is set as the nutrients that required to grow mushrooms. So I just taught kids how to grow mushrooms. Take some mycelium, which is basically the tree of a mushroom. Okay. Which is basically the tree of a mushroom, and some paper, and give it water in a dark, warm place, and you have mushrooms. Why did I want to do this? Well, a few years back, did an Anacostia cleanup and with some get-together, and then like a year later, I saw the place messy and polluted again, so I wanted to do something that could make a lasting impact. This is not professional. Okay. Can everybody hear me? So what did I do? I researched how to grow mushrooms over the summer, and then when it came to school time, I grew a couple of batches of mushrooms, and then I went to Payne and I presented them to the kids and taught them, and all the kids wanted to bring home a set of mushrooms. So yes, it was a success. The kids seemed surprisingly interested, and they took part, and they really enjoyed the stage where I had them tear up paper to then boil, and then I didn't actually let the kids near the water, but to then boil. Yes, sorry. No, I did not really follow my action plan. No, it was not really a high-quality action plan. I already had the steps I wanted to do in my head, and I basically had everything that I had in my head, and I just put it on paper just to submit it, just to get it done with. And I put down the 4 schools and with their principals' emails, and then, yeah, and then, okay, fuck it. I then broke it down. I could have broken it down to smaller steps and could have actually written everything down, but I had everything I wanted to do in my head. I then emailed the principals and got together with them. I didn't learn much. I sat down and I did it, and it was kind of what I expected, other than the kids were more interested than I assumed they would be. And yeah, even the kids who didn't want the mushroom project and who didn't want to do it, they still were interested and asked questions. So I didn't really have anybody who just refused to do it. Another reason that I want to do this is because, at least I remember from Maury, whenever we would finish lunch, they'd just tell us to recycle no matter what we had. So I thought this is just a better way to teach about recycling and reusing is always better than recycling. And what I thought I learned was that when I went to the class, I thought I was going to have to be mean to get the kids listening, but no, they were really receptive, and yeah. It made me more what the skills I used and what I could have learned for myself in future life, when I'm going to walls and having to present stuff, is that I actually need to go out and do stuff, and I haven't really done stuff before. So doing that was a good idea, and yeah, and the 2 skills I really used was communication and initiative. Good luck, people. Anyone have any questions? Okay. I mean, I don't think it was a bad thing that I didn't follow my action plan. I had all the steps I wanted, and I mostly found the action plan an annoyance that I had to deal with instead of I'd already planned all the steps with my parents. I had it written somewhere, And I just feel like the action plan, it was supposed to help, but it just really didn't. It was just more of a no. I don't really think I would have done it differently. I maybe would have like reached out to more schools, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with how it went. Please say no, please say no, please say no. Yeah? Yeah?
But was your goal to teach them how to grow mushrooms? Like, is that the goal that you achieved, or did you actually teach them something different?
I didn't teach them something different, but I wanted to teach them how to grow mushrooms because I haven't thought this out. I wanted to teach them how to grow mushrooms because I wanted to teach them how to recycle and reuse because I know, at least from Maury, the elementary school recycling program was not very good. No. Yeah. I didn't recruit students. I did it by myself, and I just went to Payne and like got in contact with the teacher, and just taught his science class for a day. Yeah. Oyster mushrooms. Oyster mushrooms.
Hello, my name is Kamani, and the name of my service is Landscaping in My Community. What I do for my community project is I cut grass in my community. And how I would describe my community project, it was very tiring and a great learning experience for me. And another way I would describe it is it was very tiring, it was very hot. But still also lots of laughs and smiles. My service was successful, but also unsuccessful because I got 18 hours, but my allergies started acting up, so I had to do more on another day, so that was taking time off my thing. But overall, I got 9 yards done. What was successful, I had learned how to use a leaf blower and use trimmers that I would maybe need in the future. And a lack of success I had was a time schedule because I didn't feel like doing my community project. I didn't have any, my action plan was not a part of the action plan because I didn't have as much access to it because my mother uses the computer for her work, so she was using it. So I had to take pictures on my phone to use my community for my action plan to do the steps for my community project. But my action plan was not the best because I kind of skipped steps and I didn't learn the things I wanted to learn that I said in my action plan. And yeah. The people in my community, what I learned about them is that they're very nice people and they're all close together in the neighborhood. The needs I identify about my community is that they need to start caring more about their grass so we can sell more houses in the neighborhood. What my service told me about my community is that they're very nice, and one of my neighbors offered me a glass of water while I was doing my work. What my service strengthened me was how I developed to become a better leader and to provide for myself even more. What skill I used communication, and I also improved the communication because I went door to door asking if I could use their yard for my community project.
That was a great project. You mowed 9 lawns, right?
9. because there was lots of dead grass in their yards, in their lawns, and I just feel like I needed to step in and help achieve my goal.
We have one question a little bit, Mike. When you talk to people, did you find that any of them had limitations to why they couldn't take care of their lawn?
Yeah, some of them had, like, they were in wheelchairs, and there were steps through where it was a ramp, and they told the stories how they couldn't just do the things they used to do.
So what do you think that the service other than cutting lawn, you think that you offer anything else in the community other than just cutting lawn? And I don't mean just because it's a lot of work, but you going out and talking to these people, do you think you provided a different service?
Yeah, I think I provided like a helpful service. Like maybe they would knock on my door to see if they were asking me if I could cut their lawn.
So before you did the project, did you have conversations with those neighbors before?
Yeah, I had conversations, and I already knew they were nice people kind of before because they were always asking how my day was, how school was going.
After completing the project, what did you learn about yourself?
What I learned about myself is that I can actually talk to people. Like I always see myself that I couldn't talk to strangers, but I could. I didn't have to talk to people.
And as you prepare to go to high school next year to start ninth grade, is there anything that you learned from this project that you can use to help you be successful?
That I could provide for myself even more. Like if I'm running late on an assignment, I won't just read it, but I will go back to that class and see if I can make it out.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Grace Lewis. Currently, I'm an 8th grader here at Eliot Hine. Next year, I'll be a freshman attending Banneker. I'm an artist myself in my own way. I love to draw characters that fit my own style. But I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about my service project, An Odyssey of Art. An Odyssey of Art elevates various forms of art. Odyssey represents African Americans who have expanded on the concept of art. My project was a success because now I'm more educated and I have the ability, plus the opportunity, to expose other people like you to these concepts of art. Through multiple interviews, I learned how these African Americans began their art journeys. It was enlightening and fulfilling, from attending their first art show given by friends to obtaining a piece of art from the famous artist Kehinde Wiley, who painted the official portrait of Barack Obama. And now, instead of it all being behind closed walls and kept secret, I brought it out so people can know that these people are just like us with a spark of creativity. I want people in this school to know that they can achieve collecting art, painting art, and even being the art by modeling. My final project was much different than my original plan. I had 6 steps on my initial action plan. I started out with my first 3 steps. I talked to my parents and my art teacher. I identified and interviewed the people I needed to, and through the interviews, I found out their type of art styles. Steps 4 to 6 is where I changed directions. At first, I was just going to display the art in public places. That was just limited to canvas art. When I realized it would be very difficult to get original pieces of art at no cost and to get permission to display in public places outside my school. So instead, I figured I would limit myself to putting up artist work inside Eliot Hine. But it was still a problem getting free pieces of art. I don't think my original action plan was high quality at all. I think I should have had more realistic expectations about what I could have achieved. For example, getting pieces of art will require a lot of logistics, coordination, and negotiations. Secondly, I could have created a better timeline for myself and stuck to it. So I decided for my final plan I was going to talk to these people one-on-one and describe their story and art through my interviews. There are many participants in the Black art community. For my project, I chose to interview 2 artists, an art collector, and model. Indira Moshi and Kenneth Robinson are 2 artists I interviewed. They express themselves through their paintings. Henry Faggard is an art collector who supports Black artists by collecting their art. Babe Ray is the model I interviewed. His image is used in Black art. My service deepened my knowledge of art. Art is formed in many ways, from abstract to realistic, or even a combination of styles. All these concepts converge to create Black art. This experience allowed me to be more assertive by having to request and conduct follow-up communications with my interviewees. It also strengthened my ability to coordinate schedules and interviewing times. It taught me to be more respectful of what's going on in people's lives, being aware of time zone differences, and just their own personal schedule in general. This project also improved some of my communication and adaptability skills. While I prefer not to talk to strangers, I moved outside my comfort zone and completed the task. To go into detail, I effectively interviewed 4 people with diverse art backgrounds and skills. I sent emails and texts to coordinate times and schedules to conduct the interviews. I also enhanced my ability to be flexible while being persistent. I had to adapt to talking to people I didn't know. In other words, I had to change my original plan so many times so that it was possible to achieve the end product. And I had to accommodate people's different personalities. So, in closing, I, Grace Lewis, wish for more people to be informed about the multi-aspects of art and to open their minds to more forms of art, specifically in the African American community. I want the art of African Americans to inspire and motivate people to express themselves in their own way, no matter what other people think about it, to think outside the box, not just to sink to the status quo. With that, I present to you an Odyssey of Art. Thank you for your time and attention.
You have a question?
Grace, what high school are you? First of all, excellent job.
Thanks.
Oh, you're going to Banneker. I missed that. I'm sorry. How do you think this experience has prepared you for the academic rigor of Banneker, not just with the presentation, but with the things that you said help challenge your communication skills and your confidence? How is that going to impact your journey at Banneker?
Well, I guess at Banneker, I'm going to have to be more, not have that much help from teachers, be more independent. So I guess this was a start for, working on my own and being responsible instead of, just lazing around and waiting until the last minute.
And who did you lean on when it got hard?
My mom and my dad and my godmother.
So I'm sure they'll tell you to keep on leaning as you keep progressing. Hold on, I'll see if they have questions. Good job.
Hello, fellow achiever. Mr. Burks and I both went to Banneker. Did you know that?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, as you completed this project, what did you learn that you did not know before?
Well, I learned that, art's expressed in many different ways. It doesn't just have to be, just painting. Even though I interviewed 2 artists, that's not all I wanted to do, because I wanted to, other people may not have the ability to paint and stuff, so they can use other abilities that they have to represent themselves in the art community.
And you mentioned that you had to adapt your time frame a little bit. Why did you, when you had to adapt it, how did that make you feel?
It was a little, it was kind of confusing at first, because some of the people were in different time zones, and one was doing exams, so I had to figure out different times. But instead of just sitting around, I kind of just did other stuff, kind of idly working in the background while waiting to do the main stuff.
All right, one more question for you. So Principal Magrino wants to know if you can share how well do you think we encourage the arts at Eliot Hine, and do you have a suggestion for how we could improve?
I think it's encouraged pretty well, but maybe have art be more of a main thing here. I see the board in the cafeteria, but maybe more spread it out around the school, so more people know what art really is and stuff like that.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Grace.
Hello, my name is Tasia. For my community project name is Save the Animals. For my community project, I contacted the Humane Rescue Society to help them with staff gaps. My service was me helping the shelter staff feed, walk, and bathe the pets. I did this for 5 weeks on the weekend. The main service I helped with was walking the dogs and finding people that wanted or needed help that a dog can provide. To me, the project was a success because I was able to help staff and people with disabilities find a temporary solution. The main thing that was successful was me helping the staff with animal care. The lack of success I did face was managing my time. I lacked in managing my time because I didn't follow my action plan. I didn't use my action plan because it was very rushed, which made it low quality. Some things I could have acted on better, mainly the schedule on the days I would help, because I almost didn't have enough hours. Something I learned about the community is most jobs don't have enough staff that can fill in the time. I also found out that they don't have all the materials that they need for the animals. So I offered to make the dogs toys for the community and the shelter. Something the service taught me is something small can have a big effect. Doing this project also helped me understand the struggle that staff had to deal with, like not having enough money for something, even though they worked hard. The skills that I used were my community skills and my research skills and my organization skills. I used these skills because I had to talk to the managers and contact them. And I also did my research skills to research for the society, and I had to organize my schedule. That's it.
Thank you, Tasia. Tasia, you said that your action plan was rushed. Can you tell us why was it rushed?
I didn't think it would be very important to have an action plan because I already knew what I was going to do, so I rushed it.
What does it mean by rushed? Like you started late or you?
Yeah, I started late and I didn't really put much detail in my steps.
So then if you had an action plan, what do you think could have been better, or what could you have done differently?
I think the schedule would have been better. Me scheduling was a really big effect because I almost didn't have enough hours, and that really put a dent in my plans.
Okay, question from Principal Magrino. So she just wanted to share, great job, and then that she loved that you offered to make toys. Since you recognize they do not have enough resources, is this something you think Eliot Hine students can help with moving forward? Do they need more volunteers or more toys made? And how can there be sustainable solution to the need you identified?
I can make a drive. All I need is really shirts that you don't use and stuff like that.
Okay. And do you think you need more volunteers?
No, they had a lot of volunteers, actually.
Okay. And then how can there be a sustainable solution to that need you identified?
Which need? The toys?
Yes.
I don't really know a sustainable idea. Maybe they can recycle shirts or use stuff that they don't need anymore and break them up and make a new toy.
Okay. Any other? All right, one more.
So you like animals?
Yes, I love
Do you see yourself continuing with your community service in this way, or will you do something different?
Yeah, I would continue doing this. It was really fun when I did it, but it did take a lot of time because I could only get 2 hours a day, so.
And it took a lot of time from what? Your social life or studying or? Because we all have to find a balance, right? We have to find a balance, and so you don't have to answer that. I just want you to think about how you put it in your schedule. Thank you so much, Tasia.
Thank you, Tasia.
Hello everyone, my name is Jeremiah DuBose. The name of my service is Political Campaign. My service is helping my mother friend Graham McLaughlin get votes. He was running for an at-large seat of the Washington, D.C. City Council. What I did was knock on doors and ask people to vote for Graham. I passed out cards, I put up posters with Graham's name on them. I also called people and asked them to vote for Graham. My service was a success and not a success at the same time because Graham didn't win the election and I learned how to run a campaign. It was a great experience. The things that was successful was me learning how to run a campaign. I was successful getting votes, making calls, and doing more. I didn't follow any of the steps on my action plan because some steps took longer, some steps took shorter. Where am I? Oh, damn. All right. I wanted to do something differently. I wanted to teach kids how to play basketball, but it wasn't good enough. My action plan wasn't a high quality action plan because I didn't follow any of the steps. I start over. The thing I would do differently is follow the steps and make better steps. The community I helped was DC. What I learned about DC is people in DC wasn't involved in local elections like they should be. I learned that DC needs a stronger and better leader. My service taught me that, my fault. My service taught me that people in DC don't vote when they need to. The experience strengthened my ability to take action. At first, I didn't like taking action, but throughout my service, I learned taking action was for the better. My social skills improved, my patience got better. I improved talking and helping people. I learned how to introduce myself to new people. Here's a video of me interviewing Graham McLaughlin. Oh, damn.
Okay, Graham, I want to interview you a bunch of experience running. So what did you run for?
DC Council at Large.
Okay. What made you want to run?
I felt like we have an amazing city and our policies weren't helping everyone to thrive and thought I might be able to serve in a way that supported people across the city.
Okay. Is this your dream job, running?
I don't know if this is my dream job. My dream job is to do something meaningful that energizes me, that uses my skills and blessings, and so I thought this might be a dream job, but I haven't had one job that I really wanted to do.
Okay. What did you accomplish while running?
One of the things I'm proud of is the way I was able to connect with people across the city of all backgrounds, races, incomes, etc. A lot of great volunteers helped me do that, like Jeremiah. And I think I helped to maybe push the dialogue on policy in a little bit different direction than if I wasn't in the race.
Okay. Did you face any challenges? If you did, what was some of them?
A lot of challenges, but two big ones are when you're running against an incumbent, which means someone who's already in office, they have a lot of name recognition. And if you're new, not a lot of people know who you are. And so a big challenge was trying to have people just know I exist and then feel like I was aligned to them to volunteer. And then I just had never done it before, so you start to learn a lot as you're on the campaign. So it was a challenge to learn while also running.
Would you run again?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't think so, but, who knows?
What did you realize about your community when you was running?
It's big. You talk about how DC is small and it's only a few miles wide, but there's 700,000 people here of all different backgrounds, opinions, views, etc. And when you're running, especially at large as I was, you have to reach and connect with all of them.
Okay, thank you, Graham, for letting me interview you. I had a nice time working with you.
Well, I'm really grateful for you volunteering. You were an amazing volunteer, so thank you, Jeremiah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the end.
What a cool project, Jeremiah. What did you learn? I know you said you had both success and unsuccess. What did you learn about yourself from doing this?
I learned that I can do things that I never did before. Running the campaign was new to me, so that's something I never did. And if I do things I never did, that's a step of me being better in life.
Would you consider running for office in D.C.?
I don't know. It seems pretty hard, but if I want to do it, I might give it a try.
I think you could do it.
Yeah, I definitely do. Jeremiah, you have like matured so much in just this year. Ms. Rice saying, yes, Lord. Just last year, you just taking responsibility for your actions, and then to see you like not only just take responsibility for your actions, but be actionable in the community is amazing. In 1 year, so you're about to go to high school, and that's an exciting time. What high school are you going to?
Roosevelt,
Roosevelt.
Deerfield.
So, what are your plans to ensure that you stay focused so that you can have all the opportunities that you can have through high school on to college? Because your future is bright and you have control of that. So tell me, what are your plans to stay focused?
Keeping my head up, having great people around me, make sure I'm not doing anything bad, make sure I'm not around the wrong group of people, and make sure I have leaders in my life. Make sure I be a leader too.
What about those grades? 'Cause
Yeah.
super smart.
That part.
And keep my grades up.
Yeah. Yes. JD, I was so excited to see you up here. You did a great job. Where are your glasses at, though?
Broken.
Okay, we're going to have to work on that. But you pushed through, and we love it. So 2 questions from Principal Greeno. First, she just wanted to share that this is such an important project, and it takes a lot of courage to do this work. Your interview was excellent. So first question, which of Graham's political views do you think were going to help the community the most?
What do you mean by political views?
So the questions that you were asking him, like
Okay.
what he was looking to do for the community, what do you believe was most important?
How he said how the community is big with 700,000 people in it and with all different backgrounds. We should, I think that helps us know that people have different opinions and different backgrounds from us. So we should all come together as one and respect each and every one of us.
Okay. And second question, how do you think we can help get more young people in the community, members in DC, to be politically active? Like, how do we think we can get our young people involved?
We should open up to them and show them things politically. Most young kids don't know anything politically, so they're not into politics. So I think we should teach them about politically things.
Politics,
Yeah,
you got it. Okay. Any other questions? All right, great job, JG.
All right,
JD.
thank you.
Hello, my name is Langston Pichon, and this is my community project, Trash. What do these pictures have in common? All these pictures have a bunch of trash. In the oceans, on fields, in classrooms, trash being littered is almost everywhere. Our earth is getting destroyed because of this pollution. This is why my project is about making sure that we could clean up this pollution. I remembered I see a lot of people, mostly with bottles and recycling, trying to shoot it into the trash cans from far away. Some teachers I've seen even try markers. So that gave me the idea to put a basketball hoop. These were my prototype drawings. As you can see, they all get different and all have different ideas towards them, because I was looking and thinking about what type of issues these drafts could have and then fixing them. As you could see with my first draft, I had to change how the hoop was connected, because if I didn't, it wouldn't have been sturdy enough to be able to stand. I had to change my second one, because although it was sturdy, the hoop wouldn't be that sturdy, and also the holes to make it look like the trash cans that we have right in the front of the school
would make it unsturdy too because I was using cardboard for my prototype. Then for my third drawing, I fixed the hoop, and for my last drawing, I just made it look a lot better. This was my starting model for for what it would look like. It didn't work because it was made out of cardboard and paper. So when it was raining outside for like weeks at a time, I couldn't put it out there, and if I did, it would have been destroyed. So I had to think of a material that I could use to make it weatherproof. And this is my final prototype. This made it look a lot better, a lot cleaner, and also weatherproof because it's made out of plastic. I hope that my project will help stop littering around the world because I think that I tried to make the trash cans fun and make people want to throw away their trash. You guys have any questions?
Yes, we have questions.
All right, first off, I want to say good job because you guys know my pet peeve, 7th and 8th at lunch about trash. About trash. So I am so glad that you brought this topic up. When you thought about this, did you give any thought to how you could kind of spread this idea around the school community to actually use it?
I thought I could spread this around the community by maybe getting a team set up so that we could build more and then place it around the school on the fields. One of the reasons that I thought of this was because one day when I was on the field, I saw a used condom.
Okay. Okay, continue. Okay, it's trash. Keep going.
So that's why I thought that's why I thought of this idea.
So your thought of seeing all types of trash that can be around the school community made you think that there's better ways that we could help clean it up?
Yes.
So when you say that you thought about having a team, what does that look like? Are you talking about a team of students and adults?
A team of students and adults because we're going to need the adults to help us get the materials.
Okay, so when you created your prototype, did you find that you had to spend money on that, or were you able to figure out a way to do that for free?
I figured out a way to do that for free because I had a lot of cardboard boxes just laying around from Amazon orders and stuff like that.
Okay. You have a question, Ms. Giles?
Do you feel like you would make any change? First of all, good job.
Thank you.
Do you feel like you would make any changes to your action plan? Were you able to fulfill your action plan, and could you have made it better?
I could have made my action plan better because I did not follow it. Some parts of it had to be delayed and some I had to move forward because I wasn't doing it like the right way.
What do you mean?
Like some pieces I messed up on, so I had to like redo it.
Okay. I'm interested to hear, what do you mean messed up on? Because you did like this, you have your prototypes, you went through this engineering process. What do you feel like you messed up on?
What I messed up on was when I was building, some pieces were like falling apart, and it set me back a few days because I was trying to fix it, but I just couldn't fix it.
So you had to change it.
I had to change it.
So you were innovative. That was amazing.
All right, and one more question. So Principal Magrino wanted to share, your design process was definitely very impressive. So she believes if you haven't thought about it, you've got a future in engineering if you want to. So you kind of answered a little bit around her question of how do you see the design process. So I think that was you sharing the different solutions that you were trying to figure out to kind of make your prototype better. So after thinking about the process and the time it took you to create this, how do you think the process will help you in high school, maybe through college, just overall in life as you move through?
Since I'm going to go to Phelps and they have special paths for engineering, I do want to do mechanical engineering, and I think that these papers will help me show processes throughout high school for how I should do my stuff.
All right, excellent. One more question.
Do you want to give anybody a shout out before you leave to go somewhere?
I want to give my brother a shout out because he's graduating today.
Let's give his brother a round of applause. What school?
Caltech.
Oh, Caltech. Really? Congratulations. All right.
Hi, I am Clayton. I am an 8th grader at Eliot Hine. The name of my service is Pencil Passer. And I wanted to talk to you about the importance of coming prepared and being responsible with class materials. This is important since you need to get your work done, and it is a waste of time to be asking for a pencil. Instead, you should bring a pencil to every class. But if you can't, and someone loans you a pencil, it should be given back in the same condition. This means that you should not do anything to damage the pencil or pen. If you loan someone your pencil, you wouldn't want them to damage or steal it. As part of my community project, I provided teachers with pencils and pens to loan to students. It is our job to be responsible with them and replace them if not. My action plan wasn't good, but it was above decent. I feel something I could have done better was starting early and emailing people, emailing more people. I wanted my project to be an opportunity for students to just walk in the classroom and grab a pencil or pen without wasting any more time. I gotta say something.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Oh, you were done. Okay. Oh, you were looking around. Okay.
Just looking around.
Okay. We'll clap.
I appreciate your, Ms. Bobby said thank you for her pencils. I appreciate your topic on pencil passing. So who is the community you were trying to serve with this project?
The Eliot Hine community.
Is there any specific person within or group within the Eliot Hine community?
My teachers and my peers.
Gotcha. Why did you pick this project specifically? What about this project gave you passion or wanted you to do it?
I saw a problem in the community where there are pencils. I was told by a teacher that she bought 40 pencils and they were gone in less than a week.
Yeah.
That's impressive, though. She had them for a week.
Yeah, at least she did have them for a week. All right, yeah.
So you took upon yourself to provide pencils, right? How long did how many pencils did you provide? And how long did those pencils last?
I gave them out yesterday, so I have no idea.
Do you know how many you gave each teacher?
I gave some teachers 15. Mr. Van took 7. I don't know how Ms. Bobby, how many did you take? Okay.
Clayton, you gave the teachers pencils, but how could you help your classmates respect materials? For me as a teacher, that's a big thing, and I know that I can see you're always prepared, and I can imagine it's annoying when kids are like, "Can I get a pencil?" How could you modify this to target your classmates and helping them be responsible with their materials?
A check-in and check-out system with pencils.
What does that look like?
Standing at the door. Basically, when you borrow a pencil, you get your name written down.
I love
and you
it.
return it, you get your name scratched out. or
Thank you.
erase.
Good, hold on.
Okay, so Principal Marino wants to share she loves that you identified a very specific need in the community and solved for it. So she said that's perfect for this project. So based on your experience, what is the root cause of students not having pencils in class? And then what is a potential long-term solution for that? So one, why do you think they don't have pencils?
Because they don't bring one in or they can't find time to buy one.
Okay, and then knowing that, the solution, do you think the solution?
Can I add to the first one?
Oh yeah, go ahead. He's like, I got it.
They also don't have pencils to use because the pencils that they can use to borrow in the class are most likely either broken, erasers bitten off, or something, basically.
Okay. So then, what do you see as the long-term solution? Do you believe it's only that check-in, check-out process, or do you have another idea?
I don't know. I was asked a question like this yesterday and I still couldn't answer it.
Okay, that's fair. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you, Clayton. That was an excellent job.
Hi, my name is Sarai Payton, and the name of my service project is Helping the Community. My service project is based off helping others that lived in the community or live in. On Monday, January 15, 2023, my mom, a friend of mine, and I passed out free food and drinks to the MLK parade.
Put the mic closer to your mouth so we can hear you. Yeah, slow down.
My community service was a success because at the end of the day, I was able to finish everything and provide food and drinks to not only homeless people, but dancers, police officers, and others. My process drills were a success because they were quick and easy to finish. My action plan wasn't as easy though. I struggled because I didn't understand what to do until later on. The parts I didn't understand how to do were writing the steps because I actually did a community service and not a community project. I served the community at an event that was already planned, so it made it hard to write my action steps. I did follow all of my steps, even though it took me a while to finish. I succeeded and finished all of my action steps. No, my action plan was not a high-quality plan, and there were many things I wish I planned better, like my service hours. At first, I didn't understand what to write for my service hours, but after I got help from my mom and advisors, Miss Rose and Miss Awita, I understood way more. One thing I learned about my community was that they are very thankful, and during holidays, they all join together as one community. Something I learned about their needs were not everyone could afford snacks or drinks, so when they were told it was free, they were grateful. I don't spend time at MLK, but I noticed it's not a bad community and I had a great time serving and bonding with others. This community project strengthened my joy in helping the community and taught me I could have a greater impact on my community through service. This project has changed my perspective on helping others. Ooh. The skills I used and improved on during this project was communication and collaboration as I worked with my family to complete my project. In conclusion, with serving the community, I was able to provide hot chocolate, water, danishes, and muffins to more than 100 people in the community. And that's it.
Very good. What did you learn about yourself in doing this project?
I learned that it's I learned that it could change my perspective on meeting others' needs and just helping the community in general.
And how did it make you feel when helping the community?
It made me feel nice that I could have an impact on others and how others needed help.
You said you did more of a community service than a service project. Is that what you said?
Yes.
So what would you change if you had to do this over again?
What would I change? plan it better and help more people than I did at the parade.
And you said the action steps didn't make sense initially until you got some support. So again, what would you do differently with your action steps to make sure that in the beginning it serves you in the correct way?
I would plan ahead and not take so much time. Well, not take so much time, but like just take my time with what I was doing.
Great job, Soraya. Who is the community that you chose to serve?
I chose to serve the homeless community, but since I was at a parade, I just chose to help everyone that was there.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Any questions? Oh, thank you, sweetie.
Hello, my name is Everett Goldstein, and my community service project is facilitating our Battle of the Books program and managing tasks in the library. For those of you who don't know, Battle of the Books is a program where there are 8 books and students are put into teams, and as a team they have to read all of the 8 books, and then we compete in sort of a quiz bowl style competition on Kahoot with multiple choice with other schools in DC. When I was facilitating the Battle of the Books program, it consisted of having to find people who are interested, creating assignments for what books people might read, but also knowing that those might get changed later, planning how we review the books that they're reading, assigning teams that they're going to be on, and then also facilitating weekly meetings in the library to review the content that we've read and prepare for our competition, which will be held tomorrow on June 2nd. On the other hand, when I was managing ongoing projects in the library, I completed tasks to organize the library and make sure that it's running smoothly so that Ms. Rose, our librarian, can complete other higher priority day-to-day tasks and when she doesn't have time for the other tasks that are also necessary for the library to run. Some specific things I worked on with helping tasks in the library: I shelved books, I cataloged books, I taped books so students don't destroy them when they throw them in their backpacks, I printed call numbers, and more. I think that my project was a success because the library is definitely more functional than before. That when I started working on these things, it definitely made the library more functional overall. But then within my project, there were definitely ups and downs. So when I was doing our Battle of the Books program, mostly it was an overall success. We provided tasks, but sometimes there was a lack of success when, for example, I was leading something and students wouldn't listen. We would have to get teacher help or maybe postpone the meeting. When I was planning this project, initially I was thinking about having sort of a water safety project and potentially teaching people how to swim. But ultimately I decided that it was too ambitious for me to have to sort of learn to teach people how to swim and all these extra steps that are skills that I would need to have to execute that. So instead, we went with helping in the library, and the steps that I created for my action plan turned out to be a rough draft of what I was doing because it didn't really have a particular order. They were more of overall goals. So I didn't have a super high quality action plan, and maybe I could have, but also it was okay that it wasn't high quality because, again, they were just goals that I could focus on. It was not any sort of step-by-step map. It was very, very loose framework for me to follow. Now, when I started, I was already familiar with the Eliot Hine Library community because I've been helping in the library throughout 7th grade and the earlier part of 8th grade. So I already knew a lot of things about my community. I knew that the library is a very welcoming space where patrons can come to relax, play a game, have a conversation. They can also learn new things, check out books, etc. And helping organize the library helps make it so all these activities can function smoothly and everyone can have a good time in the library. Additionally, many of the clubs and activities that we have in the library cannot all be run by one person, so there's definitely a lot of help that is needed within the library. The library community always has had various needs. From it needs to have a place where people can relax, it needs to be able to have people find a new book, and ways to connect with friends. And all of those previous needs are just a small fraction of the needs within the library. And anything that I'm doing in the library is helping to resolve the needs within the library. I identified these needs and more by spending time over the years I've been at Eliot Hine in the library and observing my surroundings, noticing what needs to change, what are our needs, and how can I fix them. I've been able to resolve issues due to being able to notice all of these things. I chose this service because I've always enjoyed helping in the library, and after seeing how well our Battle of the Books program went last year and seeing all of the ongoing projects that we don't really get to work on in the library, I thought that rather than working generally and just sort of focusing on everything, I could have a more specific focus and maybe run the Battle of the Books program and manage specific tasks within our library. A lot of the things that I've been doing, Ms. Rose is unable to do because she has much higher priority things that are day to day, but these things are still very important for our library to run. It's just one person can't get to everything. Throughout my service, I went through a process and used many skills. I started by planning how Battle of the Books would run and deciding which tasks in the library I should focus on. I communicated to anyone involved in our Battle of the Books program what was happening so they knew what was going to happen and could have expectation. When I was doing the Battle of the Books program and facilitating things, I used many leadership skills, leading our group and helping guide them through the Battle of the Books program. When I was just helping in the library, I used many skills from organization to planning to just getting things done. And after any Battle of the Books meeting, after helping in the library, I am able to reflect on what can we improve in this program, and also how is what I have done impactful to our library. An example of this is that some tasks I've done are putting new books into our library and seeing the books getting checked out, seeing that they're in our library and that we're ready for our Battle of the Books competition makes me feel like my community project was a success. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Everett. First, 1 second. You all are being extremely rude. Extremely rude. I don't need any help. I get paid very well to say what I'm saying. If you cannot sit here, you are going to get your whole class dismissed, and I apologize to the class. But you're sitting right behind me talking so much, I know the voice distinctly. I don't know why you would behave this way. You're 8th graders. And in my mind, I was like, how many referrals do they need to not participate? Because I'll put them all in right now. In anything. Because as 8th graders, you're the leaders. And these people, what Everett just shared was something really important. He put a lot of work into it, and it's not a disrespect of him. The people who are talking are people who didn't put any effort into their own projects. So the reality is they don't have any respect for the process because they showed themselves no respect. And I'm talking to all of y'all, and I love you. But please stop, because it's disrespectful. You're just showing yourself. So, if you need to move, move. That's your invitation to be responsible teenagers who don't want us to tell y'all what to do anyway. So, can you not keep your mouth closed and you need to move? Reflect. Yeah. Yeah. All you, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe not. 1, 2, 3, y'all probably need to separate. And boys back there. Y'all, thank you. And that's why I love you so much. That's what I'm saying. You see how responsible it is? These my boos right here. Don't sit together. Move. So, who's in Spanish? Okay, thank you, Michaela. Ladies, y'all need to move because the next step is going to be a referral or request. Yeah, all three of you back there talking while he's presenting. Will, do you need to move? Because you got on my nerves the first half. You had a special invitation to leave, and then you came back. Yeah, so Will, move back. Move back behind Mr. Van. Thank you, Mr. Van. He got a seat warmed right for you. Go ahead and move. Will. Come on and move. Sorry, Everett. Everett, you're amazing. All right. Okay, Everett. Let's get back to Everett. All right. I think Magrino has a lot of questions, but I have one question for you. You said that there was a time, as they weren't listening either, that you were working with a group and they weren't listening, and so either you had to get an adult to intervene or that you had to just cancel the activity. Can you talk to me about what you think you could do differently to have your peers listen or to have a space where you all are respectful one another to get the goals completed?
I think that part of what makes people want to listen is sort of like if they truly care about what we're doing. So I think if there's a way to like get people to care about whatever someone is saying, that usually makes them want to listen more or behave more to whatever is happening.
Okay, Everett, Principal Magrino wants to share. Sometimes scaling back a project or idea is very wise so that you can deliver a great final product. It sounds like you identified and did this when you shifted from water safety to supporting the library environment, and you had a big impact on the library community. So thinking back to your original idea of water safety, what supports would you have needed from Eliot Hine in order to make a project of that size feel like it was manageable and realistic?
If I were to have done a project of that size, I think I would have needed to do a lot more. I would have definitely needed to find people who are interested in swimming, definitely sort of learn about a little bit about how to teach water safety and how to swim myself, because as much as I know how to swim, I don't necessarily know how to teach that. And then I would definitely also need to like find a space where I can do that and figure out if there are any like rules or logistics that I would need to know about before I go through something like that.
Everett, one of the things I heard as you were presenting was your passion for the projects and working in the library and implementing Battle of the Books. What would you say would be needed to sustain it, or what future recommendations would you give to a classmate who may want to pick up where you left off?
I think I would sort of just give them an idea of what we've done, or maybe let's say it was someone who participated this year. They've sort of seen everything, so I might like help them understand how they might go through it, or sort of just like write a layout of the steps that I've followed that maybe anyone else could do as well.
That was my question, was the sustainability.
Although we at Banneker, they're the achievers. I guess Ellington, we're the A trains. We don't have anything. But you're going to Ellington, and congratulations. Woo! Yes, we're excited about that. How are you going to use these skills as you matriculate to Ellington? What do you hope to continue to build on within yourself as you go through high school?
I definitely think sort of just having general life skills like presenting and being able to take leadership of things is going to help. And I sort of hope to be able to sort of use these skills and get to sort of learn more about them and improve them throughout that time. And I think it would be helpful to have things just so I am able to get through whatever may be more difficult and deal with that.
Thank you, Everett.
Hello, my name is Tristan Stoll, and the project I did was the 8th grade graduation shirts design.
I can't, 8th grade, what?
Shirt design. For my project, I created the Eliot Hine 8th grade shirts for the 8th grade teachers. Because I designed the shirts, the teachers will have less work to do. I designed the shirts using custom ink and a hard drawing. My friends helped with deciding the colors and placement of graphics. Ms. Gay also gave me support. For my service, my service was a success because even though I had to change the design several times, I like the final design because it is unique. It took several days to do, sizing for the text and placement of graphics. I haven't seen the final product, but I am optimistic about the results. The only thing that would make it unsuccessful is if we don't get the shirts in time or if there aren't enough. The only time I did not feel successful was when I had to change the colors and the design. The principal said that it had to be a different color and not the same color from the previous year. I followed the steps on my action plan, which were to ask Ms. Gay if she could help me with the design. She gave me something to sketch. I sketched it and returned it for feedback. I then sketched it and designed it on the computer and submitted it to the print company. I talked to some of my classmates to know what they would like on the shirt. My plan was high quality. I changed the design several times. I did the project because my sister had designed her 8th grade shirts, and I am artistically creative and wanted to use my talent to help my class and have a long-lasting impact. Students and teachers will wear my design. I learned that Ms. Gay is very patient because she had other things to do, but she took her time with me. My classmates were glad that I did the shirts because their names would be on it. What I learned about the community's need was that it basically a gift for when we graduate and celebrate when we get promoted, and basically a memory. Why I think it's important for 8th grade to have these shirts is because I feel like some of us deserve to have our own shirts. How my service taught me about my community was to take my time and do something you can do and what you're good at. I realized this by me reminding myself that doing something easy wouldn't take forever than doing something hard, than doing something that would take forever. How the experience strengthened or changed my ability to take action was for me to focus on this project and stay on track. And in the future, I will do the same, just like this project. I can apply to high school and my classes as a 9th grader. Skills I used and improved on this project was organization, communication with teachers and other people, reflection, and I focused on the project very well. A few examples that I organized what I was going to do on the shirts, I reflected on the shirts, and I communicated with the art teacher and the principal and my classmates. I'm done.
Tristan, that was excellent. The language that you used throughout this whole presentation was so appropriate. I'm so impressed. He looked very beautiful.
Thank you.
You got a lot of feedback on your project and a lot of critiques on your design. Sometimes people find that really hard to take. How did you feel even when Ms. Magrino was like, nope, you can't do that color, it needs to be something different? And how did you manage dealing with that feedback and making improvements to your project?
So, well, I took it like personal because I liked how the first design was, but changing it to the other design, I feel like I like that design better because it's different.
Like that. All right, Tristan. Principal Greeno shares that she loves that your older sister created her shirt for her class promotion and that you continued the tradition. So you did a great job with listening to and applying that feedback. So you spoke directly to Ms. Magrino and getting clarity for feedback for the shirt, which was very responsible. So how will that process of receiving feedback and applying it be important for you in high school and beyond? How's receiving feedback important moving through? When you think about how you created something, you had a vision, maybe your ideas didn't work at first, but then getting feedback from others helped. How do you apply that moving forward? No, don't get it?
I don't get it.
Okay, so you had an idea, and it was to create a shirt, and Principal Greeno shared that you went to her you had questions. So you needed to get clarity about the questions that you had around the shirt, and she gave you feedback, right? So with the feedback she gave you, how do you think that's going to be important for you in high school? Like, how will you use that when you have other ideas and things that you might want to do when you're in high school? How will that help you moving forward? Like, if you had an idea about something, what have you learned? Yeah.
Let me clarify. You just said that when you got the feedback at first, you took it personal.
Yeah.
But then you applied it and it was better.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to high school and you get feedback again, how are you going to receive that feedback, and what are you going to think about feedback?
What do you think about feedback now? Once you get feedback?
I think it's good. The feedback that I got, I think it was good because the old feedback, even though I took it personal, I still, understood what she was saying about she didn't want it to look like the last year's shirts, and she wanted all the shirts to be different, so I did that.
So as you move to high school, you're going to get lots and lots of feedback. How are you going to take the feedback and apply it in different areas? Yes.
Feedback in this case was about the shirt design, but she also gets feedback when she turns in an essay, or when she does a math problem, or when she's doing a project. So feedback more broadly, just in general, when you get feedback from teachers, for example, in high school, or from advisors, how is that process of hearing what other people are saying to you and then changing what you're doing, your product? How are you going to apply that? Like, how important is that, right? So it's not just like the shirt design. Feedback is also every time somebody gives you notes on anything that you've produced.
I feel like I'll feel great about it, maybe, because maybe not about everything that they give me, but most feedback I'll probably feel great about it and understand it more.
Well, when you get feedback now, Tristan, you do take a moment to reflect on it and come back and touch point with folks. So you do that now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any other questions? That's it. Thank you. You can breathe again.
Good morning, Eliot Hine. My name is Jeff, and the name of my project is called Eliot Hine Fundraiser. My project is a fundraiser for the end of the year trip to help people who can't pay the full price. During lunch, I sold sodas and lollipops. My service wasn't a success at first because I wasn't able to sell as much stuff as I wanted to. I also forgot to make posters A lack of success that I had was forgetting to mark my hours. When I got back on track, I was able to raise about $70. I didn't follow all the steps on my action plan because I was confused on what the action plan was and how to complete it. My action plan wasn't high quality and I could have planned it better. I learned that not everyone can provide for certain things that they need, and I also learned that my community needs more people that's willing to help out and take responsibility. My service taught me that the values of money and to give back to the community. This experience strengthened my ability to take action because some people deserve to have things that they need or want even if they can't pay the full price. The skills I used during this project was communication, organization, and reflection. And that's it.
Thank you, Jeff. Did you have questions? Jeff, you said you did not follow your action plan, correct? So what would you go back and do differently to ensure that you were following your action plan?
I would have probably I don't even know. I probably would I don't know what I would change in my action plan, to be honest.
What about, did you have a goal in mind when you started in terms of how much you wanted to raise?
I wanted to raise around at least around 150 to at least help somebody pay for it, but I wasn't able to because I wasn't able to get the stuff that I wanted in time, so I couldn't sell it.
So going back to the action plan, is that something that you could have included in the action plan, starting with the goal,
Probably.
the end goal, and then working backwards?
Probably I would have included probably more hours to it, and that's probably it. Yeah, probably more hours. Oh Lord.
You spoke about this not being your part of your action plan. Could you go back and tell us what was your original project and how you got to the one that you actually did?
I don't remember what my original project was. It was I don't know. I don't remember. I think it was something about the black community, and then I just did the Candy Grams thing.
Any other questions?
So when you were coming up with this project and you were selling the candy at lunch, you said you had sodas first you were selling, and then you moved to the candy. So did you miss in your planning thinking about how you could have advertised selling and where? Because remember at lunch I mentioned, you could have went to the other lunches. So just thinking back through that plan, how do you see you could have done that differently so you could have met your financial goal?
I could have went to the other lunches, but I just wasn't focusing on that. I was focused on the 8th graders because those most people that I know that would probably buy the stuff. So that's why I just did 8th grade lunch instead of going to 6th and 7th graders.
So the project began back in October. I know that you switched over to doing the Candy Grams in February, but you did it the first week in February, and then you didn't do it again until this week, correct? What happened between February the 13th and May the 29th that stopped you from doing the Candy Grams in that stint of time? What was your impetus?
I didn't know where to get the stuff from. I didn't know where to get it from, and when I came to you, I didn't know where it was located. So.
Any other questions? Good. All right. Thank you, Jeff.
Good morning. My name is Zachy Brown. I'm in the 8th grade.
I'm the advisory. I'm in the Brazil advisory. Today I will be presenting my community project. Stop it all. I chose this project because there's a lot going on, and I wanted to hear other people's perspective on how they felt about gun violence and what would they do to stop it. This project is about how my friend and I seen the problem in our community, so we had to see how others felt about guns and shootings. So we went around the school interviewing staff and students and getting other people's perspective about how they felt about gun violence and what they would do to stop it. And we made a billboard about it so other people's voices could be heard. No. In the beginning, I did not have a project, in the beginning I did not have a project at all, and then I realized the importance it was to get this project done. And don't forget to wear your orange tomorrow to support gun violence awareness. Anybody got any questions?
Mr. Brown, what was the community you were attempting to serve or problem you're trying to solve? So problem you're trying to solve, the community you were trying to serve.
I was trying to serve Eliot Hine community. I see how other people felt about how gun violence is.
And did you do surveys?
Nah, I just went around asking.
So what did you do with the information you gathered? Is that what this bulletin board was?
Yeah.
Okay.
You did not at all capture all that you did in this project. And I think, there are other people who said they did bulletin boards. There are other people that they said they did stuff, but I've seen this. And I've seen you. That was my computer. I've seen you walking the halls, but you were actually doing something. You were interviewing people. So could you talk to us and share with us the things that the community said about gun violence? What did you find out from these conversations? And then I have a follow-up question.
And it was one person that was like, in D.C., you need it, but not saying to kill nobody, but you need it. And it was another person, they said gun violence is unneeded. And it was a couple people who was like, I'm used to it and all.
Those are the ones that stood out?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you learn about yourself as you were having these conversations with other people, and what did you learn about your community?
I learned that I have potential and that I have potential doing and capable of doing work good instead of just playing around. I'm able to do work.
Because you're a what? What's that last name?
Brown.
That's right. Put some respect on that name. What did you learn about the community?
I learned that most people don't like gun violence, and they would do anything to stop it.
And did you share why you chose this topic? What prompted you to want to talk about how people feel about gun violence?
Because it's like certain people, they lost family members to gun violence. So, see how you feel about it because you lost a family member or your family member got into something because of gun violence.
So you did, I'm sorry I'm dominating the questions, but you did a lot of work and your presentation did not reflect it. And you have a lot in your brain and your presentation isn't reflecting it. So what part of the process do you feel that you could have done better to have your presentation more represent the work and the intention that you did?
See, I could have made my presentation better. I could have made a lot of stuff. I could have made a lot of changes, but instead I just wanted to. I was rushing. I was in a rush, so I just tried to put anything and that makes sense and goes with the project. So that's what I put.
Okay, Principal Magrino wanted to share that our community has been deeply affected by gun violence, and the city and country right now are hurting deeply from gun violence. So as we plan for next year, what do you think the staff at Eliot Hine can do to empower students to stand up to gun violence in DC and to support those who have been impacted by it?
By like always giving them somebody to talk to, or ask them how they doing and all that. See how it affected them. Talk to them about it, and see how they doing. See how it affected them. See what family members, just comfort basically.
This is a question from one of your peers. She asked, how do you feel about your community project and what you've accomplished and what you've learned? How does this make you feel?
It made me feel good because I got it out the way. I ain't got to do it no more. And now I could just cool.
Last question. This is kind of piggybacking on this question. Did you ever see yourself getting to this point, actually completing your project and being able to see it through?
To be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to get it done. Like, I thought I was just going to leave it like how it be. But then I seen the importance on it, like what it could do for me, and I decided to do it and get it out, just get it out the way.
Okay, one last thing I wanted to say that I personally am proud of you because you know we struggled up until yesterday. So I'm glad that you were able to take this upon yourself to come and do this and really be responsible. And just know that you can do it. And don't ever doubt yourself.
My first question, or second, or whatever this is, where is this board?
This board is by Miss Harris' class.
That's the first
In
thing.
the middle of the hallway, second floor.
The second floor, thank you. The second thing, one of your peers asked, have you been, you spoke about other people are being affected. He asked, have you been affected by gun violence, and in what ways?
Lost some friends, lost some family members. But you already know we're going to stay strong because it happens every day. So might as well. Used to it at this point. Somebody die, don't even cry.
What could you do with this information? Is there, I'm thinking back to Jeremiah's presentation, is there anything that someone you can share this presentation with? Is maybe someone in city council, or who was it, Graham Walker? Who was your presentation? Who was the person you worked with? Graham Walker? Graham McLaughlin. Like, what can you do with this project? What do you think you can do with this project?
You can, like, say for instance, if you start up something like about stop the violence, this can be a part of it. Like, so the world can see it if they want to. Any visitors coming in the building, they can see it if they want to.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Elias, and for my community project, I'm cleaning my community. When I was going to clean up, my mom called my advisor to change my community project. So my community project was changed to me cleaning the library. Something I did for my service was go to the library when I woke up. When I went to the library, when I went in the building, I told the front desk lady what I was there for. Then she gave me a form to fill out. She gave me the form, I filled it out, and then it said 9th through 12th grade. So I had to change my community project again. And I changed it to clean up a different area. Hold on. The area I first chosen wasn't so great to clean, so that's when I had to change it. So based off this happening, it was unsuccessful, and it took longer to do my community project. Hold on. Found it. Something that was a lack of success was having to change my community project 2 times because my community project was cleaning up cleaning up an area, but that wasn't so great. Then my second community project was to go to the library, but according to the form, I was too young. and this was also not successful. Some things on my action plan I didn't go through with was going to the store and getting the stuff I need to clean up and get the things I need to complete my community project. I wrote a good action plan, but things didn't go so well, so I had to change it. If I was to start over, I would do what I'm doing now because I know what would happen. So by doing this, I can avoid the problems I had to face. Why you looking at
Are you finished?
Nope.
Oh.
I like the dance interlude.
Something I learned about my community project is they have trash all over, and something I learned. Something I learned about the community I helped was it was not so great. It was trash all over the place, and it was very dirty. Something I learned about my community needs is they needed more cleaning, needed more help in that community, and more trash cans and stuff to clean. Now I'm done.
I'm still unclear. Thank you. Eliot, so I'm still unclear what your community project was. Like, where did you clean up? What did you clean up?
So at first I was gonna go clean up, and then that's when I had to change it. And then I went to the library, and I had to fill out a form, and I was too young.
Yes.
So then that's when I went to Mr. Lynn and told him about what happened.
Yes.
And then that's when he said I just go clean up a different area.
So what area did you clean up?
I don't know. I just went to go clean up. I just went to go clean up an area, and I took pictures and clean it up and stuff.
But what area? Where?
I don't know.
In our school?
In our school, in the neighborhood?
In the neighborhood. Oh, my fault. In the neighborhood.
What neighborhood?
I don't know.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Was it on a street?
Yes.
Okay. Where are the pictures?
I don't have it.
Stop it.
Huh?
I don't have it. I got it in my phone and stuff.
Okay. And you cleaned up how? Like, did you have a picker? Okay. And you put it where?
In trash.
In a trash bag? Okay. So, what did you learn about yourself in doing, the first area that you wanted to clean up was what when your mother called?
Yeah, it was this area called Good Hope.
Okay, so that's where you wanted to clean up.
Yes.
Right, but that's not where you ended up cleaning up.
No.
But you cleaned up in this somewhere.
Yes. Okay. Like around my house in the neighborhood.
In your neighborhood.
Yes.
Okay. And how did it feel to clean up your neighborhood?
Felt great because I just didn't like to see trash all over the place and stuff, so I just decided to clean up.
And one of the things that we've asked others who've done kind of a cleanup, what is you cleaned up this time, but do you see a longer term idea to help the neighborhood stay clean? Something that would be not you cleaning up, but do you see another way to solve the problem of the neighborhood being dirty other than you going to clean it up? No. Okay. Jeremiah has a question.
Was your community project rushed?
Yes. Yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine Bowler, and the name of my community project is Quad Hearts because I decided to help 4 kids with asthma and heart problems. So I started a GoFundMe to raise money for them. I also made them customized asthma pumps, and I also made them personal meals and bracelets for them to eat and wear. My service was a success because I helped people and kids that are like me and some people that I know. What was successful was getting their asthma pumps customized, was getting materials for them like personalized water bottles and personal food plates to help them with their asthma. I didn't follow my action plan completely because it didn't feel like it was completed all the way because I kind of rushed it. I believe I could have planned the hours I went to visit them better. This community project helped me learn that kids can be difficult and need some extra attention and help with some of the actions. It taught me something that I already knew, that they don't have a lot of energy after they have been up and about for a while. The experience strengthened my ability to take action because it helped me with my patience and the ability not to just help myself, but to help others in need. The skills that I used and improved during this project were research, childcare, and also communication. Thank you for listening.
Jasmine, how did you determine to work with this community? You alluded to something that was important to you and something that related to you. So how did you decide this community?
I decided this community by my grandmother. She told me that I should help people that are not just like me, but people that I know of. So she decided to help me start my GoFundMe, which also raised a lot of money to help the kids.
How much did you raise from the GoFundMe?
I raised about $500.
Nice. How did you recruit the folks that you worked with? You said it was it 4 specific people you
4.
worked with? How did you find them and work with them?
I went to the Heart Organization and I picked out 3 specific kids that I felt would need the most help because they looked like they needed the most help. And there was one kid that is my little cousin, and she has like a lot of heart problems, like how I used to when I was a little kid, her age. So that's why I chose to help her as well.
How did you feel after working with them? Was there anything like a light bulb that switched to you, or a feeling that you had after working with them?
I felt that I should help more kids like that because there were a lot of kids in there that looked like they needed some extra attention, extra help, and it looked like the doctors didn't really give them the attention that they needed.
Thank you for doing that project, Jasmine. Thank you. Oh, Jasmine, wait. We have what?
She just wanted me to make a comment to say that it's great to see that you worked on a project that was so personal to you, and having a personal connection definitely helps with motivation. So thank you again. She just wanted you to hear that.
Hello, my name is Jared Ford, and the name of my community project I participated in was Save the Animals. For my community project, I was originally going to volunteer for the animal shelter, but unfortunately I had to be 18 years or older to volunteer. So instead, I donated toys, feeding bowls, and stuffed animals for the cats and dogs. I also interacted with some of the animals in the animal shelter. I created a bond with a border collie named Blue. We took him outside and played with him. I wanted to adopt him, but my mom didn't have the resources to take care of him. My community project was a success because even though I couldn't take Blue home, I was still able to identify a need for the shelter and donated supplies. It was also nice to engage with the animals that was there. The lack of success is when an animal is not adopted within a certain amount of weeks, the shelter puts them down. I to change my action plan because I was underage to volunteer for the shelter. I believe my action plan was high quality because I take an interest in finding animals a good home. I learned that all of the animals had different temperaments. For example, some animals were shy, some were more playful, and some were more interactive than others. I learned that the community needs for animals are food, water, toys, human interaction, safe, clean space to stay, and love and care. This taught me that there are a lot of animals that need loving homes. This experience strengthened or changed my ability to take action by spreading awareness, by hanging posters and fundraisers. I can also take action by visiting the shelter once a month, donating food, toys, treats, and blankets. I will also be looking forward to volunteering when I'm 18 years old. Some skills I used during this community project were communication, interaction, and organization. Thank you for listening.
All of the animals that were in the slideshow were at the shelter?
Yes.
So it's more than just cats and dogs that you were able to help?
Yes.
What other types of animals were there?
There were like chickens, ducks, cats, guinea pigs, but I couldn't visit all of them because some of them were not ready to be touched and like taken care of because of surgery and like shots and stuff, so yeah.
Jared, why did you pick this specific project?
I picked this because I feel like animals don't get enough attention. Nobody really focuses on them like they need to because I feel like they're more important.
What did you learn about yourself from doing this project and working with the animals?
I learned that I can do a lot for animals because I donated, I helped them, and I feel like it was just a good experience for me, and it's something I never did before.
All right, Principal Greeno wants to share that you have wonderful public speaking skills, and she heard you say that you were able to make toys for the animals. Can you talk more about the importance of this for the animals? Why having toys was really important for them?
I feel like having toys were important for them because I feel like it's a good interactive like little game for them, I guess, and it helps build their skills and stuff. So I feel like that was a main part of what I did.
Were you able to see them interact with those toys?
Yes.
So you can tell that they enjoyed it, kept them busy?
Yes, it kept them busy.
Okay. Any other questions? Think we're good? All right. Thank you, Jared.
Hi everyone, my name is Amaya Johnson and my service project is called the Homeless Cafe. So basically I just walked around my neighborhood and I walked around fast food places to see if it's any homeless people around there. And then I made meals and I gave it to them. My service was a success because I had my things planned out that I would do and I put it on my action plan. But if I didn't have it planned out, it wouldn't have been a success. Mostly everything was a success except when I had to find homeless people. I only followed some steps on my action plan because the things I put on my action plan, I didn't do it all. I feel like my action plan wasn't a high quality action plan. If I would have started over, I would have changed the plans. Also, I would spend every day making meals and walking around my neighborhood. Something I learned about the homeless is that sometimes they can ask for stuff that you're not giving out. Like if I gave them food, they would be like, do I have any money for fast food? I learned that this community needs homes, food, clothes, and also need attention. Something I already know is that they needed things to survive. Also, something that it told me is that not all homeless people like the same thing. I noticed that when I went around and helped out the homeless, it helped me understand that there is more people around the world that is homeless and don't have things that others do, and it helped around my community more.
I use my knowledge of what I know my community needs, and I looked up places around that I know they have people in, that have the need, and I looked up places around that I know that they have people in need, and I saw that there are definitely people in need, and that some people need to know that it's not bad to help the homeless, because it could be something so little that can change their lives.
You did it. You made it.
Amaya, you did excellent. I have a question. So you said your project was successful, but you didn't have a high quality. Samaj, I think y'all should separate. I know. I just said you should separate. I didn't ask a question. You just move down some, because he's talking to you. I'm not talking back. Amaya, you said your project was successful, but your action plan was not high quality. Can you tell me, help me understand, what's the difference between a successful project and a project that's well planned? Why was it successful?
Because, at first it wasn't successful because when I first started to do it, it was kind of hard to find homeless people. But now it became successful because I looked up places where homeless people are and stuff.
Was one of your action items to find homeless people? Okay, so you would change it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way you would change your action plan. Okay, good. Question? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Feeding the homeless or the less fortunate. I was serving their food or setting up their food tray so they can get food. What I would do to set up their tray was I would put a napkin on the tray, then I put a spoon on the tray because they were serving soup. I would say my service was a success because I was praised by the chef and the staff who were working at the shelter, and also the people I was serving. What could be considered a lack of success were the complaints that I got from some of the people I was serving, but most of the complaints were about the silverware and nothing I could really change. So other than that, I would say it was successful. When it comes to following my action plan, I did for the most part, but I didn't meet all my due dates that I set for myself. Yeah. So other than procrastinating and stuff, I feel like I followed it to a T. My action plan wasn't low in quality, but I don't think it was high in quality, mainly because I made it simple so that I could follow, whenever I had to reference it, it could be really easy to reference. Something I learned about the homeless community is that they don't always look like they're homeless, or they might present themselves really well and well spoken or dressed nice. I learned that even though they're less fortunate than me, when it comes to money, housing, food, and clothes, they can also have different health issues, disabilities, because a lot of the people I served were in the electric scooters that you kind of sit down in, or had crutches and canes and stuff. How my service deepened my understanding of the homeless community was that the same situation, how majority of them are all homeless, it affects each person differently, or they might carry it differently, if someone had, I said, people might dress differently, or they might have different disabilities, or they might seem more joyful than the next person. This experience changed my ability to take action, because now I know how easy and accessible it is to do it. It was in my neighborhood, the soup kitchen that I went to, so it was very accessible for me to do it. My communication skills improved because I had to put on a smile or not say anything insensitive to the situation, and just be kind of understanding, because they're dealing with a lot and stuff. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
So, thank you. Very good. Give her a hand. I really found it interesting that you said your action plan wasn't high quality because you made it simple
Yeah, I made it simple
and easy to follow. That is high quality. Do you think that you could have made it better? So when I heard simple, I was like, that's exactly what an action plan should be. Like, you just go and do it, and it doesn't make it hard. So, but I feel like you were saying that you could have possibly done more. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, because my descriptions for everything were very simple. I didn't make a long, drawn-out sentence, step by step. I just gave a general idea of what I wanted done by what time I wanted done. So it was just simple. I didn't describe or go into heavy description of what I was going to do or wanted to do.
And you think you should have?
I think I could have.
You could have. Okay.
The best action plans are simple. Best action plans are simple because they don't have to be convoluted. They don't have to be wordy. But as long as you're able to use it to guide you to complete the project, do you think you were able to use it at each step to help you to guide the project?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's her whole job, strategy and logistics and doing action plans. So I think it was a high quality. Any other questions? Great job. Thank you so much.
The name of my community project is called Saving Pets. My community project was volunteering at a pet shelter, and I helped the staff feed and bathe animals. I first visited PetSmart, and I helped them bathe some animals, which was fun, but a lot of the animals didn't like the bath. I then went and walked some dogs, which was kind of boring because it was just like walking a dog but picking up poop after them. And there was some dogs that had disabilities that I helped walk. We had to be gentle with them, but I did get to pet them a little, so that was good. I got to feed them and then play with them afterwards before I had to leave. I was able to help people with disabilities choose their dogs. After that, I went to some type of fundraiser that the animal shelter threw, which was pretty boring, but it was for a good cause. In my opinion, I think the service was a success because I ended up helping the animal shelter, and also got to take some work off the staff's hands. That was successful. I also got to help people with disabilities choose their best friend. I also got to take some work off the staff members' hands. I did not follow my action plan because I noticed that I wasn't on time with my action plan, and it was throwing me off course, so I just rode with the little bit of time I had left. I don't think my action plan was high quality because I never finished it, but everything still went good even though I should have finished it. I learned that there was a lot of people looking for pets, and there were a lot of pets waiting on owners. Something I learned about the community was that a lot of people were picky and choosy with their pets, which kind of irritated me because I feel as though they should have already had this figured out before they even came into the pet store. Some things that the service taught me was to never judge a book by its cover because a lot of people came in looking for a service dog or a service pet, and they didn't look like they had disabilities. I feel as though I just changed my point of view of people because before I thought that people only came to pet shelters for pets. I never knew that people actually went to pet shelters to look for service animals too. Some people needed help, and I felt that I was needed, which made me feel important for once. I witnessed a lot of different personalities, from mean to nice to shy people, but my favorite was the shy people because I love seeing them become more confident and talking about the animals they want, which is a wonderful thing to see someone come out of their shell a little bit. Either way, people come to the shelter to find their best friend. A skill I used a lot was communication because I needed to talk to people when they came looking for a pet, and when I had to schedule good days to come to the shelter to see when it was a good time to stop by. Overall, I learned a lot, and I feel as though all the stuff I learned will help me throughout my life. I can use this throughout high school because there will be a lot of people that I will have to talk to, whether it's a problem I have or a problem they have. I also think communication is the important thing I need to work on because when people ask my opinion about something, I just agree with them because I don't want to annoy them. Anyway, I will never judge someone by the cover without me knowing them first.
If you don't mind me asking, what was your action plan?
My action plan? I didn't finish it. No.
What's your action plan to success?
No, because I feel as though I started late and I actually had my times and schedule written down, but I still decided to wait and not already complete it when it could have already been done. So I was just procrastinating, how you say it? So
Were all of your hours done at PetSmart, or did you go somewhere else?
I went to PetSmart, Petco. I also went to the Humane Center with Taja. And yeah, that was like, I guess I completed all my hours in different places. And I also like walked some dogs around my neighborhood too, so.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.